What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar and welcome back to the WBE. This is going to be the week 10. Is it 10? It might be week 11. I think it's week 11. The week 11 team builder, and we are going up against somebody that I have a history with, okay? Somebody who has memed on me, and somebody who has brought eject button Kieran Black into Pursuit Galvantula to beat my Gengar. So we're going up against Bill Standish. Now, let me just talk a little bit about my history with young Bill Ben Standish. Him and I have known each other for a very long time. We played in P4G. And then in P4G Season 1, I won. P4G Season 2, he won the championship, and I won Season 1 championship. So you got the P4G Season 1 and 2 champions playing off against each other, 1v1. I'm super excited for this. This game means a lot. And when I say it means a lot, I mean it means a lot. If I lose this game, I'm going to struggle to make playoffs because my last two opponents are Gator and Leo. Gator and Leo are both phenomenal battlers. Gator is pretty much locked playoffs at this point, and Leo, he's on the same boat I am. If he loses one more, he's going to struggle to make playoffs. We both have about 3 losses. So I need to win this. I need to win this game in order to guarantee my spot in playoffs. And with a team that is, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, not good like mine. It's difficult. It is very difficult, but I definitely think we can do it. I spent a lot of time in call with my good buddy Leo, 6-foot hacks, helping me build this team, and I'm going into this knowing that Bill brings unconventional shit. He brings weird stuff. He brings sets that I don't really expect. Also, my chair is breaking, so it's going down while I'm sitting in it, so that's fun. So he brings weird stuff, so it's really hard to predict what he will and won't bring. And on top of that, I'm not happy with the way I've been playing. I'm not happy with the passive playstyle I've been taking in the vast majority of my games. I want to play a little bit more offensively. I want to put more pressure from the very start. So bringing teams that consist of a Milotic, a Mega Sableye, a Scizor, a Wigglytuff, and a Mesprit just can't do it anymore. I cannot deal with being that passive. I need to bring more offense. I need to bring more aggressive, and I need to play a little bit more aggressively. And last week's game against Patty really showed me that. It really showed me that if I don't take the offensive playstyle early on and my opponent decides that they want to U-turn on me and Volt Turn, it can be really dangerous. And what's really scary is my opponent this week can do the exact same thing. He has a really good Volt Turn core. Not really Volt Turn, but he has really good pivoting with Mega Scizor, Lando, Whimsicott, Articuno, and Electivire. Very good pivoting. He also has really good hazard removal in Scizor, Lando, Arrow, Whimsicott, Articuno, and Tentacruel. Very good hazard control. He also has pretty reliable stealth rockers in Necrozma, Lando, and Arrow. 2 of them being offensive, which is pretty good, meaning they won't be set up. But aside from that, I think his team is pretty standard as to what he should or should not bring. I could see a Curse Mega Scizor. I could see an SD Mega Scizor. I could see a bunch of different sets with Mega Scizor. However, I'm going to go into this expecting setup or pivot, not really just fat. I feel like it's gonna be either fat setup or fat pivot. I could see setup Necrozma. However, setup Necrozma has a very difficult time versus my team because he's unable to reliably bring Rock Polish, Calm Mind, because he needs Psychic Stab for something. For just general coverage versus my team general coverage, and he also needs Earthquake for my stack Attacka. Now if he brings those 2 coverages, he cannot touch my Mesprit, and if he has double setup plus those 2 coverage moves, he cannot recover up, and my Mesprit can actually Toxic Stall it to death. So I don't see Double Dance Necrozma. I could see a really a Calm Mind, Moonlight, Photon Geyser, Earthquake with Toxic on the rest of his team to try to Toxic my Mesprit. I could see that, or I could just see a Stealth Rocks, Moonlight, weird, bulky Necrozma. Either one is going to be difficult for me to break. Primarina I kind of sort of see coming. It has a weird matchup, and by a weird matchup I mean it's hard for me to switch into fairy types. Obviously you guys saw that last week whenever Ribombee got approximately 6,000 kills. So I would find it very weird if he did not bring his Primarina. I would also find it weird if he did not bring either his Primarina or his Whimsicott. After seeing Patty Trills beat me down with that Ribombee, I can really see a fast offensive fairy coming to this game. Everything else, Lando, Arrow, I could expect both of them. They're both really hard hitters, but the big ones, the big weaknesses to my team I mentioned already, so let's just go ahead and talk about stuff. This is how I want to win this game. I want to win this game by Dragon Dancing up with my Zygarde and clicking Thousand Arrows, Extreme Speed, Glare, Dragon Dance, and I want to beat down literally everything. So there's not much on his team that wants to take this thing on. With Adamant Max Attack at +1 with Extreme Speed, I break through the vast majority of his more frail mons. With 1000 Arrows plus Ground EMZ, I break through the vast majority of his walls. He doesn't have a 1000 Arrows switch in. He does not have one. His only one is Scrafty, maybe. And even then, I can set up on Scrafty unless it has Ice Punch, but if it has Ice Punch, it probably isn't going to have like Bulk Up or something like that, so my Milotic can beat it. So I don't really see Scrafty coming. I think Scrafty has a really rough time, and it can't beat down my Mega Sableye literally at all. So I definitely don't see Scrafty coming. However, everything else on his entire team does not want to take this thing on. +1 after Stealth Rock's Extreme Speed breaks through everything. I just need a little bit of chip damage off on Whimsicott, and Ground EMZ is just a guaranteed absolute nuke to something on his team. Don't really care what it is, preferably the Necrozma or the Mega Scizor. Either one, I have really good ways of dealing with whichever one I don't kill. I just need to figure out which one that is. So more than likely, this might not be the late game sweeper, but this will probably be a mid to early game breaker to path, like to carve the path for something like my Alolan Raichu to win late game. This is a double dance Alolan Raichu with Electric Terrain and Nasty Plot. So Electric Terrain plus Surge Surfer gives me a +2 speed. I outspeed everything on his entire team, including Scarfers. I think I even outspeed Scarfed Arrow. I do. I outspeed Scarfed Arrow. This has enough speed for Electivire, I think. I think it's Electivire. Is it Electivire? Let me see. Let me see. I probably should change this to outspeed Lando. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure I outspeed Lando. I need to hit 169. Nice. And then do this. So this is not meant to double dance up and sweep. This is meant to dance on one side and then break through everything. If, let's say, a lot of his Pokemon left are very frail, say I have the Whimsicott, the Primarina, the Lando, and the Arrow left, I'm going to set up an Electric Terrain on hopefully the Whimsicott, and I'm going to potentially sweep through everything that way. If what he has left is like the Electivire is still around along with the Lando, maybe some other things, and then I'm going to set up a Nasty Plot that I know I can outspeed, and then I can just break through them that way. This can also be a really nice early game breaker depending on what he leads off with. I can tank hits from things like the Whimsicott as well as the Tentacruel, meaning I can just set up one side and then I can try to deal with something the opposite way. So with the Mind Plate, I also do a lot of damage to everything like the Lando and the Electivire. That's the Pokemon I was thinking of. So we have a nice little, we have two breakers realistically that are going to hopefully break through something early to mid game to leave a nice little pathway for this Serperior. It has enough speed for Lando. It has Glare, Leaf Storm, HP Fire, and Giga Drain. Giga Drain is there pretty much just so I can hopefully Giga Drain something like the Lando, the Electivire, the Scrafty, anything to hopefully gain some health back for me. And I have Glare to be able to slow everything down. If he's not Z-Fly on his Landorus, what I'm able to do is I'm able to just spam Glare versus stuff, and once everything is slowed down, he either can't outspeed my walls and my walls beat them, or he really hates dealing with my offensive threats since they will be able to outspeed them guaranteed. So this Pokemon just has a really good matchup. Leaf Storm plus Giga Drain. Leaf Storm into a +2 Leaf Storm guaranteed breaks down Fizdef Tentacruel, which is kind of sort of what I'm expecting this game. It could be Spadef, but even then, after rocks, I think that 2 shots if I'm not mistaken. So on top of that, we also are able to break through things like the Whimsicott at +2. So as long as he's not Specs, but I'll have to scout all that out. And realistically, if he is Specs, I'm going to be going right into this thing every single time, and I'm going to be clicking Flare Blitz because his Flare Blitz switch-ins are literally Primarina. And if Primarina is weakened, then that means that my Zygarde pretty much just wins at +1 with Ground EMZ. So this is going to be probably the cleaner, could also be a breaker. I wanted to have a lot of versatility with what I wanted to win this week. I wanted to kind of sort of play my cards in a way to where I could do whatever I wanted to with any one of these 3. But with having pivoting on Mesprit in the back is what you will see. Mesprit pretty much inviting in his Necrozma every single time. I wanted to be able to gain some momentum off of that, and this Darmanitan does just that. With an Adamant Flare Blitz, I do so much damage to literally everything. Even if he's like max HP Primarina, he's 2-shot after Stealth Rocks. This thing does so much damage, and that's why I'm super excited to bring it back again. The one time I don't bring it, man, I lose to freaking fairy spam, so it was just stupid of me. And funny thing is, if I did bring this, I did so much damage to Patty's team. Like, his 1000 Arrow switch-ins were the same thing that were his Flare Blitz switch-ins. So definitely bad bring on my end not bringing this thing versus Patty. So then we have a Fizdef Milotic. This thing is designed to take on his Lando plus his Arrow. I've already come to realize that my team can't really switch into offensive fairies that well. It just doesn't have the best ways of dealing with them if they're special. Like, I can't switch into Moonblast that well because they just tack on HP fairy or HP ground or fighting, and my stack attack I can't switch in. So preferably ground for them so they can also spam it and also hit my Darmanitan. So I'm using this as the really good physical check. And then last but not least, we have another physical check because a lot of his team is indeed physical. With Stealth Rock, U-Turn, Thunderwave, and Psychic. Psychic is super free versus his team because his Dark type does not want to take U-Turns, and it also doesn't really want to switch into like Scalds for Milotic. I also have Haze on Milotic for Curse Mega Scizor, SD Mega Scizor. I have enough speed to outspeed like some invested. Like, he needs a good amount of investment. This is also designed to also hopefully help out with Calm Mind or Cosmic Power Necrozma. So that is going to be the team. This Pokemon is there, like Thunderwave is also there because a lot of his switch-ins, so like say this is something that I lead off against Whimsicott, I click Thunderwave, and then his Whimsicott is immediately slower for my Zygarde, for my Raichu, for a bunch of different things. So Thunderwave is really good versus him. So I'm really excited for this game. I hope I win. If I don't, my playoff chances are going to be really difficult. So yeah, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.